Well, just a couple of things before I begin my homily. One is, if you haven't picked up your parish festival tickets yet, we had them in the church last week. We still have them all set up in the parish center. So if you haven't picked them up, go right after Mass. There'll be people to buzz you in. It's all laid out. Once you get inside the door, you'll see it. Please pick up your tickets, because for every one you take is another $2.50 I don't have to spend on postage, because what's left we have to mail. So please pick up your tickets. It really helps the festival, parish out a lot. Secondly, I have been aware that you have already received your CSA pledges in the mail from the Archdiocese of Detroit. A couple of things that I just want to point out to you. When you see the envelope, it'll say it's the Archdiocese appeal, but it goes to Minnesota. That's because the company the diocese hired is centered in Minnesota. Believe me, the diocese gets the money. Just don't worry about that. They always get their money. Anyway, but seriously, we've always made our quota because of your generosity, and because of your generosity, we actually went 10 grand over the quota last year, so we were able to use that money, which is greatly appreciated. We had all the big heating unit. One of the reasons our heating unit and cooling unit in the church was completely replaced was because, it was the one that Father Gelfi had put in long ago, and they just couldn't find parts for it anymore. This thing's beautiful. It's blessedly quiet, costs a lot less. You don't even hear it. Well, that's one of the reasons we were able to get it ahead of schedule. It's because of your generosity. So I'm asking everyone who hasn't given a pledge before, please give one this year. And they did increase our quota by 2%. So whatever you gave, if you can kick in an additional 2%, that would greatly be appreciated. Thank you. Okay. Who remembers the Rand McNally? I'm not even going to show it over there because they don't remember it all. The Road Atlas. Who remembers a Road Atlas? 1997 Road Atlas. Remember these? Remember these? Now for all you young people in your 20s and younger who wonder what in the world is that priest throwing alone at us, it's a collection of maps, road maps. Here's a road map of the state of Michigan. Now I know what some of you young people are thinking. Where does it talk to you and tell you where to go? Well, trust me, there's plenty of people in this world have told me where to go. But anyway, but see, this thing doesn't talk to you. You had to go on it and figure out your route yourself. And if you got lost, then you'd have to pull over, find out where you were, and then double back wherever you had to go. Now, that's how we did it. But we know now it's different. Since my car that I had for 20 years finally, gave the ghost, and I bought a new vehicle, I'm happy to say that I joined the modern age. And they have a screen, and maybe you have this, a screen, and you can plug in your phone, an iPhone, got one of those now too. No more dialing. And it comes on and it'll show you where you want to go, and get this, it'll tell you how to get there. How many got one of those? Anybody got one of those? Aren't they amazing? They're just amazing. So I tried it out for the first time to go to my cousin Lorraine's in Westland. And it said to me, it showed me the map, showed me the route. It was going to take me down to I-696. I said, fair enough. It said, make a right out onto 14 Mile. Well, I knew that. Then it said, make a left onto Shaner. Looking back, I'm not going to go down to Shaner and take the service drive. I'm going down to Hoover and go all the way straight because the exit's right there. How many of you do that? I go down to Hoover. Who goes down to Hoover? It's a lot easier if you go down Hoover. I know that there's an extra light at Cousino. There's one less light on 12, but you don't have to go down the service drive. So I ignored what they told me to do. And then I kept going on. And then the computer, recalibrated, saw me get to make a left on Hoover. I said, well, okay, I was going to do that anyway. And then proceed to tell me exactly how to get to my cousin's house with every turn. It would even tell me exits coming up in 1 mile. They didn't even tell you that. Does yours tell you that? That's amazing. I'm impressed. So on the way back, I had some fun at my cousin's, and I was in a good mood. So I decided to have fun with this computer. Because I am a firm believer. You know, I have a reputation. Believe this or not. People who know me think it's hilarious. I'm known as the tech priest. Probably, yeah, if you know me, you'd be laughing too. This is because we have all these young people and all this technology, because we're streaming everywhere and people around the globe literally are watching us right now. Well, I was going to have some fun with this on the way back. I said, let's see if I can have fun with the computer. So I decided, once it posted up the route how to get back, not to follow any of it. You know, just to see how patient it was going to be with me. Instead of, going to 275, I decided to go to Newburgh Road. Of course, it got to Newburgh Road. It told me which way to get all the way to 96. It was going to take me 96 to the Southfield to 696. I decided to take Newburgh to 8 Mile, and 8 Mile and drive it all the way across to Mound. And that kept, at every light, it kept saying, make a turn here, make a turn here, make a turn here, make a turn here. I think about 10 times it tried to get me to turn to go north. And I ignored it every time. But it never gave up on me. It never quits. It tries. It wants to help you get where you think you need to go. And remember the gospel passage. You know where I am going. Where I am going, you know the way. You know the way. And Thomas says, Master, we don't know where you are going. How can we know the way? And Jesus says, I am the way and the truth and the life. I am the way, Jesus says. Because we make a lot of physical journeys on this earth, but we make only one journey of a lifetime. And that's a journey to the heavenly kingdom. And God wants us to get there. And just like that GPS is not going to give up on you driving around on this earth, God's never going to give up on any one of us. He's not going to give up on any one of us, no matter how many wrong turns we make, no matter how many mistakes we make, no matter how many errors we make. We even know we shouldn't be doing this and we do it anyway, or we should be doing something and we don't. Those are all wrong turns on the spiritual journey. But despite every wrong turn that we make in our lives, God never gives up on us. God doesn't make us do anything. He's made us all in His image, which is love, which means it's freely accepted or it's freely rejected. But He freely pours out His love on every day of our life to try to get us to make the right decisions, to turn the right way as we go on our journey to the heavenly kingdom. Our obligation is to decide whether we want to follow those spiritual directions or not.